If you're into e-bikes at all, then the Lectric brand is probably already familiar to you. They advertise everywhere on the web, which is probably partly why they are the most popular brand of e-bike that I see tooling around campgrounds whenever I go camping. This is the XP2.0, Lectric's first revision after a very successful launch of their business. When they contacted me about getting one for evaluation, I asked them for this step through, and I'm really glad they did. The too long didn't watch is that the Lectric XP2 offers a lot of capability and a package that folds up smaller than any of the other folding e-bikes that I've tested so far. The thing that I always like to point out with every folding e-bike video is that you still have to deal with it's 63 pounds whether it's folded or not, but when you have it folded, it's going to be in a very nice, efficient package, a little bit more easy to handle than other folding e-bikes, and when it's unfolded, it's going to get you places that you'd be surprised that this little thing can get you to. The Lectric XP2.0 is a folding Class 2 e-bike that can be easily converted to either Class 1 or Class 3 standards if preferred. It comes in this step-through configuration as well as a mid-step, with the step-through also available in white with blue accents. The hub motor sustains 500 watts but peaks at a whopping 850 watts. Combined with the 20-inch wheels, the motor puts a lot of torque to the ground. Wrapping those wheels are 3-inch wide tires from either CST or Chadyang like you see here. They provide a good balance of grip with lower weight and rolling resistance than the 4-inch wide tires sometimes found on folding e-bikes. The human drivetrain has 7 speeds selected by the ubiquitous Shimano Tourney thumb shifter. It pulls a Tourney derailleur in the rear, which proved plenty adequate for my shifting needs. The XP 2.0 comes standard with a beefy aluminum rear cargo rack capable of supporting over 70 pounds. It also comes standard with fenders front and rear painted to match the frame. The frame folds in front of its reinforced bottom bracket with 2 thick plates ensuring zero flex when riding. A very large latch holds everything together, including a safety catch that reduces the chance you could open the frame unintentionally. The bars are adjustable for height with marked gradations helping you keep track of where you like the bars after unfolding the bike. The XP 2.0 also has a headlight and taillight powered by the main battery, with the taillight functioning as a brake light whenever the brake levers are pulled. Mechanical disc brakes grab 160mm rotors, slightly smaller than the 180mm rotors more typical on e-bikes, but the difference was not really noticeable when riding. Folding Wellgo pedals sit at the ends of the Pro wheel cranks. One of the biggest upgrades Lectric made to the XP 2.0 is the front suspension fork. It's a hydraulic fork that might not have a ton of travel, but it's built to last while providing enough travel to handle the bumps and cracks you're most likely to encounter on pavement or light trails. The 48-volt 9.6 amp-hour battery is integrated into the frame. However, you can still charge it via a port accessible without removing the battery. Lectric claims a range of up to 45 miles on a full charge, though I think the average rider will probably get closer to 30 miles even on flatter terrain when using a lot of pedal assist, and closer to 20 miles of throttle only riding. 5 levels of pedal assist are selected via this small but robust control pad. All of the fancy stuff is moved over to the huge LCD display in the middle of the bars. The XP 2.0 also comes standard with a lightweight kickstand designed to stay out of the way when the bike is folded while providing plenty of support when deployed. Lectric ships the XP 2.0 completely assembled. All you have to do to get ready to ride is to remove all of the packing materials, insert the battery, top off the tires, and adjust the bars and seat to your preference. That's it, making this the shortest assembly narration I've ever had to write or record for sure. Mine fits just fine in the back of my LX 470, even when I pack 2 inflatable kayaks, a 2-room tent, a canopy, inflatable bed, refrigerator. Yes, I glamp more than camp these days, but that's what I enjoy. I can even fit it through the rear doors, which is handy because that gives me direct access to where I like it to be when I pack. The XP 2.0 is still 63 pounds, and you do need to be strong to lift it this high while positioning it through a small opening, but I can't even do this with any other folding e-bike I currently have. Yeah, that got my heart rate up. But there it is. And of course it would be easier to just slide it in through this way before packing stuff up. The trick for me was I actually had to come over on this side and lift the front end up to fit over top of the tent. But there we go. That has been an awesome camping vehicle. I'll tell you, I was shocked. Now I know why so many people have this exact bike out at this campground. I'd be surprised if you could go to a campground anywhere in the US and not see someone riding electric around. They just make so much sense when you consider their price, their compact size when folded, their big range of adjustability when unfolded, and the sheer fun of having a way to get around and check out other campsites. Campgrounds often have much better bathroom facilities than many people realize, but they can be a bit of a haul from some of the campsites. The XP 2.0 makes a quick trip to the facilities for whatever your needs. The standard cargo rack is also super handy for transporting your stuff, like grabbing more firewood from the ranger station, or refilling your water supply, or taking your shower supplies with you. Pro camping tip, pack with a standard contractor's bucket with a lid like this, and you can use it for all kinds of stuff. I keep my clean clothes and towel dry even when I have to bring my stuff into the shower stall like is sometimes necessary. The Lectric XP2.0 is not sold, not promoted as a trail bike, but I'm going to take it on my normal fat tire e-bike test route, which includes mild trail like this, to see what it can do. It has fat tires, it has knobby tires, and it has a motor that peaks at 850 watts. And when you combine that with 20-inch wheels, this thing is likely to climb like a billy goat. We'll see soon enough. We're already coming up to the test of its mechanical disc brakes. The 180 millimeter rotors, pinched by mechanical calipers, do a fine job of stopping. One of the things that I've noticed with a lot of folding bikes is that because you have to be able to fold the bike, especially the rear brake cable needs to be a little bit longer than what you would have on a bike of this size. And so I do feel a little bit more friction, it's cable friction, from the length of the cables than I might find on a non-folding e-bike. It's not something you can't overcome, and the brakes themselves do a fine job of stopping the bike. It's set up from the factory as a Class 2 e-bike, which means that both throttle and pedal assist are limited to 20 miles per hour of motor assist, and then it cuts off. You can disconnect the throttle to get Class 1 e-bike out of it, and you can reprogram the top speed for pedal assist to up to 28 miles an hour and get Class 3 performance out of it. The pedal assist is speed-based pedal assist. And what that means is for each level of pedal assist, there's a miles per hour that the pedal assist level tries to get the bike to. And so it will use up to full power, up to 850 watts when you slow down, no matter what your pedal assist level is set to try to get you back up to that speed. There are 5 levels of pedal assist, and I find them to be actually very practically spaced. It does have a 7-speed human drivetrain with the gearing pretty evenly spaced. I do think that the gearing is very appropriate for Class 2 e-bikes going up to about 20 miles per hour. But anyone who is interested in operating this under pedal assist faster than that, if you change the top speed up to the class maximum of 28 miles per hour, you might have a hard time keeping up with the turnover of the top gear. You're going to be pedaling pretty fast. Wow, these tires are actually doing a good job in the loose stuff, especially with these fall leaves covering everything. I feel like I've got really good traction. I do have them aired down to, I think it's about 12 PSI right now, which gives me better traction and better compliance. The ride, even on this flatter part of the trail, is not as cush as a fat tire e-bike with a bigger fork than this, especially with larger diameter wheels. They tend to roll a whole lot better over little nooks and crannies than smaller wheels, smaller tires do. It's very manageable with the front fork that it has, and the stock saddle is actually very well cushioned. You can get, and they did supply with this bike for me for testing, what they call a comfort kit. And it has an even springier seat, plus it has a spring seat post. I don't feel the need for that for my rear end, but I think that a lot of people will be very happy with the stock saddle, and I don't think you should just run out and buy the comfort kit until you give it a try first. If it doesn't work for you, Lectric has a solution for you at a pretty economical price. One of the things I really like about this bike is how adjustable it is. I can absolutely get the seat post high enough for full leg extension, which is what I need to feel comfortable. It's also the most efficient position to have when you're pedaling. And then the bars are actually adjustable in height by a lot. I have them in the lowest position, and I feel very upright as it is. But if you're someone who has issues with hand or wrist pressure riding bikes, I think you'll be very happy with the adjustability of this bike, because you can get very upright to where you're supporting more of your weight on your pelvis and less on your hands and wrists. The shifter is the same Torney thumb shifter that's found on the vast majority of e-bikes that are on the road in the US today. And I'll say the same thing I always say. My preference would always be for a trigger shifter, because with thumb shifters, you do have to release your grip in order to shift, especially if you're gonna downshift. But this is the shifter that you're going to get in this price point, and it works. I get the gear I want when I want it, and that's the vast majority of what I need a shifter to be able to do. I've done a lot of pavement riding on this already, because I've taken this with me on camping trips, and the places where I camp, the only place you can ride the bikes are places where there's pavement in the first place. And one of the things that I like about these tires is they are relatively quiet for knobby tires on pavement. Okay, I got pedal assist level 5, and it seems to be right at 20 miles per hour for when the power kicks off. And it's pretty gradual coming on and off. But I'm in 7th gear, and I am comfortably pedaling at 20 miles per hour with the cadence. This is what I'm talking about with, if you do class 3 level speeds with pedal assist, the gearing is a little bit low. You'll probably do what's called ghost pedaling, where you're just turning your feet over, but you're not actually putting any human torque onto the axle in the back, because you can't keep up. But that's not a factor for me. I don't think that's a factor for most people who ride these. Lectric asked me whether I wanted the mid-step or the step-through, and I asked for the step-through. I have no problems with standover height. I am 5'8", 30-inch inseam. Ooh, and here I'm gonna demonstrate the throttle getting through this. The throttle only works if you have pedal assist at least to 1. Pedal assist 0. Ooh. Pedal assist 0 and the throttle is dead. I talk about that in every review where the pedal assist system is that way. I definitely do not prefer it that way, because I like to exercise, I like to provide the power myself, but I still want to have access to that throttle to blip out of way of traffic, or if there's just a little bit of a rise to get over. I'm gonna go a lot slower over the speed bump. Yeah, this is not set up for flying over speed bumps. I could get away with it with bigger wheels and a fork that has more travel to it. but I had to go a lot more gently over that. The fork works, but it's not meant to absorb that much of a bump at all. Yep, this is a lot more bucky over this broken pavement than most every other e-bike that I normally ride, but it's not harsh. It's just a lot of extra movement. First gear is low enough though that I'm able to pedal quite comfortably at 7 miles per hour. And with pedal assist level 1 selected, as I start to slow below my comfort and cadence, the motor gradually kicks in. It's actually a really nice match of gearing and pedal assist. So throttle test, I will say that it doesn't accelerate super quickly, but it does get you to 20 miles an hour, and then that's where it cuts off. The control pad is teeny tiny, but I don't mind that at all. It doesn't need to be big. And I don't have any problems distinguishing between the minus and the plus for pedal assist levels, just from feel. The other thing that I really like about this control pad is that you can feel the click of the buttons, so you know that you have successfully selected a different pedal assist level. Some of the fanciest control pads that I've used are actually pretty terrible about that. You don't get any kind of positive haptic feedback to know that you've actually selected a different pedal assist level. And then those are also the control pads that can be the worst at actually registering a change in the controls. But this is actually a nice little control pad, stays out of the way, and it works. The display is huge for a folding bike, and the other thing that I like about it is it's very easy to keep loose so that you can adjust it wherever you want to while you're riding, but it kind of works its way out of the way when you're folding it and when you're trying to maneuver it into a car or something like that. It greatly reduces the chance that it's going to get damaged in the process. But I've got a gigantic readout for speed. I've got a large readout for battery energy left. I've got a very large pedal assist readout and a very large odometer readout. The only thing that I like to see on displays that this doesn't have is a readout of motor output. It does not have that, but that is far from a deal breaker. The grips are ergonomic grips. I think one of the things that's interesting about these versus other grips that are shaped similarly is while they do provide a lot of palm support, they're actually on the firm side. I don't mind them. I'm used to grips that have zero cushioning and don't even have palm support. But these are not going to be as comfortable for people who do have palm pressure issues as the ergonomic grips that come on a lot of other e-bikes. That said, the grips tend to get beaten up a whole lot on folding e-bikes. When you're moving them around, it's the bar ends that kind of stick out on that side of the bike. So I think it's a good choice for Lectric to go with a firmer grip, because these are much less likely to get damaged just from the ordinary wear and tear that's going to come to a folding e-bike. So this is not actually promoted for doing riding like this, but it's capable of it. I am riding a lot more slowly than I do with bikes that have fatter tires, especially larger wheels and more travel in a fork, but the grip feels sure. The thing you need to keep in mind with all folding e-bikes, especially this one, is that there's a permanent kickstand underneath the bottom bracket, and that will hit. if you go over something with a breakover, like a log, or try to pop over a stump or something like that. So don't do that. This path doesn't have anything like that. Yeah, so I have to go slower than I take this trail on e-bikes that are more appropriate for this kind of riding, but it is absolutely capable of doing this trail, of getting you around on a trail like this. First climb. Oh yeah, I just have it in pedal assist level 2 and first gear, no problems. You're gonna have to pedal along with this for the steeper stuff. Woo! Okay, that's too fast. But yeah, between the 850 watts peak of the motor and the 20-inch wheels, this actually has a decent amount of climbing power for sure. But bombing down trails like this or climbing up their climbs is not the most popular use of the Lectric XP2.0. It's much more popular for tooling around a campground. Well, until I get something smaller in for evaluation, this is the folding e-bike that's going to be going with me on camp trips in the future. It is so handy to be able to just hop on this thing and go get extra water or head to the showers without having to hop in my truck or schlep the whole way carrying a load. I'm also super glad I went with the step-through version of this bike. I really have a hard time making the case for the mid-step unless you really don't want to be seen riding a step-through e-bike. I'm long past caring what people think I look like when I'm having fun, and I really do appreciate the extra ease of mounting and dismounting the step-through. MSRP of the Lectric XP2.0 alone has been $9.99, but at the time of this video, a bundle with additional accessories was the only purchase you could make at a cost of only $9.49. And for that, I think it offers a tremendous amount of capability with some features that you have to pay extra for from a lot of other brands. If you're interested in getting an XP2.0 of your own or anything from Lectric, be sure to use the link in the video description to place your order. It supports the channel when you do. Be sure to subscribe for more e-bike videos. I really appreciate you watching the Tech of Tech, and I hope to see you next time.